Greetings, people. It's Mr. Pull the Trigger yet again on another episode of the Enlightenment series. I'm doing this video today, and this is my appeal to Mama Ida Odinga, the wife to the former Prime Minister of Kenya, Raila Odinga. Mama Odinga came on the 31st, and she issued a statement concerning the regulation of churches in the Republic of Kenya. Mama Odinga highlighted in a statement that churches should start to be monitored. Churches should start being regulated, because she knew and she knows up to date that churches are stealing money from vulnerable believers. Mama Odinga, you were 100% correct. Mama Odinga, I just want to tell you today that that statement that you issued was 100% accurate. Regardless of any pressure that you ended up having from different ends of the economy, from different ends of the political systems in your country, and you eventually came and apologized and tried to console and do damage control to the initial statement that you had given concerning the regulation of churches. Mama Ida, let me tell you, you were 100% correct. You needed not to make any apology to anyone, because what you said was the truth above all the other truths. Mama Ida, I support you in everything that you said in your initial statement. Mama Ida, I know the political systems, when it comes to these things of the church, they have this interest, they have so much invested interest in churches. And this interest, we are yet to expose them. Mama Ida, the pressure that you suffered after issuing that statement is not coming from the churches. I know whatever that you said in that initial statement concerning the regulation of churches, it was coming from the pain and the concern for the people of your nation. I know everything that you said in that statement. You had seen the cry and you had seen the damage that has been caused to the body of Christ by these pulpit bandits. Mama Ida, let's call these people with the relative names that they should be called. These are criminals. These are pulpit bandits. These are jackals. All the prophets, Mama, in Kenya, they have ruined your nation. All the challenges that you see your economy facing today, Mama, they are being influenced and fueled by these churches. The regulation of churches, it's something that needs an urgent attention to. Churches should indeed be regulated. There is nothing that you said in that statement that was wrong, Mama Ida. Don't ever feel guilty, neither should you feel any type of way that you made some people feel some level of discomfort because of the statement that you issued. I know, Mama, deep inside your heart, you're not fighting the church. You are fighting the jackals. Your point of concern was on the way this church business is being run. There are these institutions, there are these commissions in each and every country that are meant to be regulating these churches. But these commissions are toothless dogs. They don't even bark, because these institutions, these commissions are very well funded. They're very well funded by certain people that have too much influence, and they are funded to maintain the churches as they are, because they are benefiting something from the operation of churches. This syndicate of churches, Mama, is far much bigger than what you anticipate. This goes far much bigger than the false doctrines that they are preaching. This goes far much beyond than the fake prophecies and the robbing that they are doing and manipulation that they are doing to the gullible believers. There are so many prominent and influential people behind this vehicle called the church of nowadays. And they'll do anything, Mama, to make sure that they will suppress any investigation that has to be done, any audit that has to be done, any regulation that has to be done on these churches. They are using these churches, Mama, to elicit illegal deals, illegal transactions under the radar. That's why they will never allow you. That's why they will fight tooth and nail to make sure that these churches are not regulated. Don't even be coerced, Mama, into giving that apology. That apology, Mama, I know you because of the position that you hold, you had to give that apology. I know because of the position that you are holding, you had to make sure that you try to make everyone comfortable. But Mama, in this era, Mama, we need leaders that don't compromise. We need leaders that stand on the truth And what you said, Mama, on your first statement was the truth. Kenya has become a nation of sorcerers. All the prophets that you see in Kenya, Mama, they're not adding any value to the body of Christ. They are not leading Christians, believers to Christ. They are criminals. They are jackals. They are liars. And this is the time for the Kenyan government to take side with Mama Ida. Raila Odinga also came and said churches must no longer getting anything above 100,000 in forms of donations. And I saw so many bishops in Kenya, so many fake prophets in Kenya. They started fighting Mama Ida for the statement that she made concerning the regulation of churches. Because they know that their business, illegal business, and their fraudulent activities, and their inconsistent gospels that they are preaching are about to be affected. They've monetized this whole thing called Christianity. They have monetized this whole thing called religion. And they're using the Bible to legalize crime. Kenya, the president of Kenya has to chip in. The government of Kenya has to chip in and take sides with Mama Ida Odinga. Whatever she said was the truth. This is my appeal to the Kenyan government. Close all the churches in Kenya. All those are shrines. All those bishops, pastors, and all those bogus prophets are criminals. They are thieves that are lying to people. They are lying to people. They've been robbing people. They've been manipulating people. And they've been pushing an agenda of the devil that has nothing to do with holiness. People stop fighting Mama Ida Odinga because she's standing for the truth. What she's standing for is the truth. Churches must be regulated. And everyone must be qualified to start opening a church. They should no longer make it that easy for a church to just come out of the blue. There are churches all over. What are they contributing to the economy? Nothing. But these church institutions, they're just being used as vehicles to carry out illegal transactions, to do things that are inconsistent with the development of economies. Mama, these churches are being used by other politicians, by other business leaders. That's why they'll make sure that there is no regulation that is done on churches. But the question is, why should churches not be regulated? Why? Why should they not be regulated? If they're making money, if they're getting money, they have an income statement, why should they not be regulated? Why should they not be held accountable? Why? Because these are business institutions. The money that they are making in forms of tithes, seeds, offerings, and donations are more than the money that businesses that are paying tax are making. But these churches are not being taxed. It's all for the taking. And the question is, what have they ever contributed to the economies in which they are operating in? Tell me one church in your nation. Tell me one church in Kenya that have done something for the community, that has created employment, that has offered jobs to the citizens with the money that they are making. They should be the hubs of employment. They should create centers to help the youth, to help the young ones get opportunities, business centers. But these churches, they're just taking money and they're just putting it somewhere. They're just spending it on useless things. And most of it, they're embezzling it. Most of these church leaders, they have offshore accounts. Every money that comes in the form of offerings, tithe and stuff, they invest it in other countries. That's why you always see them going on lavish vacations. Because they have bank accounts there. They spend their money there and they take it from our African economies, from our African people. And then they say they want to regulate them. You start seeing Antichrist people coming to fight this movement. There is nothing wrong with regulating churches. At this stage, all churches must just be ended. They must just be banished. They must just be monitored. No one. I'm seeing 20-year-old kids, 25-year-old kids calling themselves prophets. Having 90-year-old, 60-year-olds, 50-year-old kneeling before them, calling them Papa. Mama, this is bad. This has caused so much bad to Africa as a whole. I wish if all state leaders can take a stand that the Rwandan president took. The president of Rwanda took a stand. That was very unpopular. That was very daring. He closed more than 3,000 churches, more than 3,000 prophetic churches, because he knows what these churches are being used for. He knows. And I'm going to explore this when I'm talking about all the financial syndicates in churches. When I explore and expose these financial, syndicates that are, being administered by these churches, you will be shocked and you'll be enlightened and you will actually start supporting Mama Ida on her quest to get churches regulated. These councils, these church councils that are in countries that are supposed to be regulating churches, they are they are on a payroll. That's why they don't do anything about anything that happens in the churches. They don't even do anything. They'll never come to put any sort of discipline to prophets or pastors that are found in error or that are found at fault. How many rape cases have been reported in your respective countries? What did these church councils do? They'll do nothing. They'll never touch the churches. They'll never touch the pastors because they are funded. This is just a disguised operation. It's just a disguise. These are just disguised institutions. They are useless. They are very, very useless. They should put a very distinctive organization that looks into churches, not these church councils. They are useless. They don't do anything. Which prophet have you ever heard being put under disciplinary by these church councils? No, none of them. And they were just put to disguise the government so that the government can trust the church councils to take care of church businesses. Yet they are very incompetent. They are being bribed and given money to shut up, to keep quiet. Because they are very bigger players in the game. They are very bigger players in the game. That needs to take money out of the country. And the safest money to take money out of the country is to use churches. Most of you have seen these churches having small branches in different countries. You think they want to do evangelism? No. The reason why they opened several branches across the continent, not across the continent, in different countries, Belgium, US, America, all those other places in European countries, is because they want those branches to just stand and have the legal capacity to open bank accounts. And once those little shrines of them in other countries open bank accounts, now they can be able to move money in form of donations. And these business people that are funding this whole church and doing this illegal transaction, they'll get their share of the money that is moved because they also have accounts in other countries. Now you can imagine the amount of destruction that is being caused to the African economies. And now you wonder why African countries are always remaining poor. Why do we need 5,000 churches in a country? For what? Why do we need them? Anyone that feels like they can prophesy now, tomorrow they're opening a church. All these cultists and all these occultic leaders that are running Christian organizations are thieves. They are being used. Wait for the next episodes. I'll give you the entire blueprint of this financial syndicate that is being run by these churches. That's why, Mama, you face so much immense opposition when it comes to the regulation of these churches. They don't want these churches to be regulated because their interests are in these churches. Because they're not taxed, they're not monitored, they're not regulated. The month that they move out of the country, no one cares, no one checks. But Mama, I just want to applaud you. I just want to thank you for actually taking the initial stand to say what you said. I know the forces made you withdraw your initial statements, but whatever you said in the first, we've taken it into perspective, and we know it's the truth. Kenya is messed up right now because of prophets. I'll check you out on the next episode of the Enlightenment series. I'm out.